Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls Remastered, where today we are going to be taking on Ornstein and Smo and hopefully beating them this time. But first, since we do have a little bit of leeway with our defense, or not our defense, our equip load right now, I'm actually going to equip this, rather. And then just take a little look here, because over here we can see our current equip load, and then like, okay, that puts us over half. I was kind of hoping we could equip Havel's shield. There's apparently not much reason to. What just? I just gained an Estus flask. Okay. I'll accept it graciously. How do Silver Knight gauntlets compare to Balder gauntlets +3? There's no reason for us not to equip them. Especially because we're still well below half the weight limit. And okay, worse lightning defense, but not by much, and significantly better physical. I feel like going full Silver Knight in here is the way to go. But then, if we were to say unequip this, then we would go over half. Okay. So we're stuck with both these rings for now. Alright, still got that roll. That's good. So let's see if we can take on Ornstein and Smo this time. Once again, going to be trying for Smo first, just because I've never killed Ornstein when I killed Smo first. And I've only fought Ornstein after killing Smo first once, and you've seen that happen. So yeah, I wanna have a little new experience here. I mean, what's the point of playing a remaster if you're not gonna at least try something new? Though admittedly, they didn't remaster much. They just added more graphics. And from what I've heard, maybe they increased the summon limit? I don't know. I feel like there might be someone we could summon for this fight, but I also feel like it would just make it harder without making any significant difference. Because, like, for most bosses, yeah, you get to deal with having one boss's attention divided between two targets, but when there's two bosses with their attention divided between targets, then there's still a chance that there's just one on each of you, and that doesn't really change much. So yeah, I mean, I guess it could split them up. That would be one good thing that could come out of it. But when that's the only real thing that can happen, what's this? Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be just fine. Oh, hello. Right, we want Smo first. Okay, 0 hits. Do that attack more. I like when you do that attack. Ow. I don't like being poked, though, Ornstein. So if you could just lay off. Ooh, that's right. We've got some souls to grab. Let's just back carefully over there. Have a little drink since they're letting us. I feel like I should have gotten at least one hit there. That was not the right thing. I thought I already had my weapon in one hand. Or in two hands, rather. So I ended up making it so I couldn't block appropriately. Okay, we're not doing so hot this time around. Just gotta create some distance. Okay, with Smo being distracted like that, we had an opening to heal. I appreciate such openings. Hello, Ornstein. Ow. Couldn't dodge through that. Ah, dang it. A little risky going for this when Ornstein is free and at large, but we're okay. We are okay. Little less okay now, but still health positive after that. That is surprising. I would have expected that jumping slam to do significantly more. Like that, but that was coupled with a certain somebody else doing his thing. Let's use this. It's a much bigger heal than a flask, and we had the time for it. Like, humanity is a much slower animation, but it's a much bigger heal. Ow. Okay. Smo is getting there. Won't be too much longer before he goes down. One hopes. Oh. Okay. I guess that's happening. Thanks, game. I really don't understand. When you're not actually in a multiplayer thing, why would it matter if you get disconnected? Like, if you're not being invaded, not doing co-op, not invading anybody, if you're not actually in multiplayer, why does it disconnect you why does it boot you to the title screen if you get disconnected? I don't see any reason why that should be the case. Oh, and great, now we're out here with our reduced flasks health. Great. Thanks, game. Thanks for keeping track of everything during the boss fight. I mean, I guess if it didn't, then we would have ended up losing the souls that we got back. So, like, it's not the worst, but I'm definitely going back to the bonfire, getting my flasks back, getting my health back, and probably spending some souls here, actually. Let's get a bunch of souls to spend, shall we? Might be able to get a couple levels here. Actually, definitely can get a couple levels, just not sure quite how many. But definitely some. Alright. Yeah, it looks like we can get maybe 3. Probably 2. So, vitality is no longer as huge a thing as it would be. Endurance, just 2. Well, maybe 3 if we use our other soul. Okay, so I'd have to remove my ring of favor and protection to... Actually, no, I was looking at equip load, not stamina. This is still getting us... Oh, dang. 0.22 is really good. 0.21 is just 2 points of stamina, but 0.22 is 4. That's kind of neat. We did want 1 more dex, was it? I believe it was. And, I mean, resistance isn't amazing, but having more poison res isn't terrible either. But I really just don't feel like actually dropping points there. And we would need 2 points of attunement to even get a slot. And then we would need at least 1 more point of either of these to really be able to do anything worthwhile. So that's 4 levels if we want to cast anything at all. I think the 1 point of dex. And then... Do I want more vitality? I mean, more vitality always helps. But each individual point isn't worth a whole lot. Like, yeah, this is 39 points. Which, I mean, sure, it's some, but it's not enough to make a difference by itself. But I think I want more endurance. Raising that equip load is good. Alright, let's see if using our last little soul here can actually get us high enough. I doubt it. I don't think this is going to be like 350. No. Oops, I hit leave. I meant to hit level up. They both start with LEV. Also, I have a bad habit of mashing. Yeah, not quite high enough. But let's just see here. Can we equip our Black Knight Greatsword? No, it needs 18 dex, not 16. So we're going to need 2 more. Oh well, I was kind of hoping. Because, I mean, you can see it's already stronger than the Zweihanda. Without any upgrades to it. But no, we're stuck with our longsword plus 10 for now. I wonder, if I went full Havel, how much would I be able to just tank their attacks instead of needing to roll or anything? And then I could maybe get rid of the Havel ring. Because it's not like it would be making our roll any better. But then again, it might actually make it so that we're able to wear all the stuff. So, let's also equip Havel's Great Shield. Oh. Hang on. Oh, right. It takes a little bit of strength to use that thing. Just a little bit. Okay, so if we try rolling. Yep, there's that roll. Because we are above half our equip load. But I don't believe that roll gets any worse no matter how heavy you get. Until you get like over your equip load maybe. So if we just come right over here to the Ring of Steel Protection, then that gives us even more physical res. And we're still rolling like that. So let's just see how this works. Just for curiosity's sake. Wow, we're slow. Didn't realize that higher equip load also lowers your speed just in general. Pretty sure in the later Dark Souls games it's mostly just how you roll. But in this game it lowers your movement speed too. I mean, that's good to know. Yeah, I wonder how much damage we'll take with any given hit while we're wearing this. It's probably not going to be significantly lower. But if it is, then maybe we could just tank right through things. Just for funsies. But, ugh, I am so slow. If only there was a closer bonfire. Like, why can't there be a bonfire right here? That was a great idea that Dark Souls 3 had. What does this even say? Yeah, exactly. It's just a really well-placed bonfire that I liked. Seems we're still able to dodge things. It actually doesn't really seem like the jump animation has a much worse roll than it does with lighter armor. It's just the roll animation. Which will always amuse me, the way you just crash onto the ground. Alright, let's see how this goes. Just for funsies. Ow. Okay, still hurts. It's not like we can just shrug off any hit. But then again, it doesn't hurt that much. So I do need to stop with all the... Oh, the lightning is bad. At least I can still roll through things if I time it right. It is nice that that overhead swipe goes over my head, too, if I'm right up in there. There's actually not a whole lot smoke can do to you if you're right up in there, I don't think. Okay, let's have another little drinky here. Okay, Smo is almost down. There we go. Let's have a drink while we wait. I don't know if that actually went through. But let's skip that. Okay, it did go through. That's good. Okay. Really not liking those rolls, but I am liking not taking significant damage. Okay, so I mean, we're doing just fine hiding out in this guy's nether regions. Okay, that did some damage to us. Okay, I need to not get hit by the grab. That's like the one thing here. If I don't get hit by the grab, I'm pretty okay. Because Havel's armor does have some very respectable defenses. But I have a feeling the grab would get through them. If only because it does electric damage, and electric damage is very bad for our health, as you can see here. But it's okay, because we win. So, that was our second attempt at these guys, at least as far as actually getting to stay until either we died or they did. And it went very well. So let's just equip our regular old armor that we've been wearing for a while. I do remember using like Havel's gauntlets instead of other stuff in my original file in the original version of this game. Mainly because relative to other gloves, they're not really that heavy. And also, like, they add a lot of defense for gloves. At least I think that was the case. So we're at 3.5 weight for the legs. Is there anything we can get better without being too much heavier? Well, that's just a straight upgrade. It's the same weight, but better literally everything. I mean, I take upgrades. How about here? Do we have any just straight upgrades here? I mean, the Silver Knight gauntlets are better at everything, but they're also too heavier. We're looking for a lot of blue and a white for the weight, and we got nothing. So how about here? These I've actually upgraded as well, so less likely to get just a straight upgrade. Yeah, that's significantly heavier. That's not much heavier. And it is better in most ways that I care about. So let's do it. And then over here, I doubt we're really going to find anything better for the weight. Because the gargoyle helm is way good for its weight. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we're going to look at least a little different. And we can probably roll around just fine now. Nah, that's over a fourth. But if we equip Havel's Ring, then we can roll around just fine. All right, so let's just see here. No, it's already there. Sure. Yep. Of course, we fought that guy in Dark Souls 3. The Nameless King. Gwyn's firstborn and not exactly his favorite. So there's a bonfire right here, which I appreciate very much because we have very many souls and I would like to spend some of them. So let's go ahead and get those 2 points just so that we're done with that. And then we'll get some more points here. That seems fine. And here's Guinevere.
Thou hast journeyed far and overcome much, chosen undead. Come hither, child.
I'm already hither.
O chosen undead, I am Guinevere, daughter of Lord Gwyn and Queen of Sunlight. Since the day Father his form did obscureth, I have awaited thee. I bequeath the Lord vessel to thee.
Thanks.
And beseech thee, succeed Lord Gwyn, and inheriteth the fire of our world. Thou shalt endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices.
Sure.
O chosen undead, thou hast journeyed far.
So let's go ahead and just get that option right there. Not actually going to join it.
Since the day Father won and beseech the great indeed, we had felt the warmth of fire, its radiance and the life it sustaineth. Without fire, all shall be a frigid and frightful dark. Please, Father's role thou should assume, and inheriteth the fire of our world. Thou shalt endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices. King Seeker Prout, the primordial serpent, shall guideth thee. Please,
Okay.
now thou shalt go forth, chosen undead. May thou be one with the sunlight forevermore.
Yeah, sure. She's not even real. If you shoot her, she just goes away and suddenly everything is darkness. Just gonna sit here and see where we can warp to. Okay, so Firelink Shrine is warpable too? I thought it would not be, or maybe it'll tell us we can't if I try and choose it. Either way, Undead Parish we can warp to, and then it's just a quick jaunt back down to Firelink. But, whoops. Okay, good. We fell faster than the elevator. I'm pretty sure there's still stuff to get up there, though. So I'm going to go ahead and go back up. You'll note that this is a small elevator for people my size, and the other elevator is very large for people of large size. And that the stairs out front also had large stairs going up the middle and smaller smaller stairs to the left and right. Because this place is built for both small people and giant people. Like, there's a lot of touches like that in Anne Orlando. But okay, now we're done getting stuff up here. Just had to get Lautrec's armor from Lautrec's actual for real's corpse. And why am I waiting for that? We can just go. So let's just go. So can we go to Firelink? We can? Huh. I thought we could only go to Firelink if it was actually lit. I guess I've been wrong all this time. And here's our good buddy.
Well, fancy meeting you here. You did much for me up above. I am grateful. You know, I was thinking the gate, the old fortress. Was that your doing?
It was.
Yes, I knew it. It seemed like an unlikely coincidence. Well, am I fortunate? This light of Catalina thanks you sincerely. Please, take this as a token of my gratitude.
Thanks, buddy. I'll never use it.
There you are. I'll be heading down below shortly. There's nothing worthwhile up above. No worries. Adventuring is my life. I'm prepared for the worst.
But he's not prepared for poison swamps.
There you are.
Okay, so let's head over here, see if Big Hat Logan's here. He sure is.
Oh, hello again. I was waiting to tell you. Master Logan has returned, and he tells me that he has you to thank. Well, we are both in your debt now. Thank you, sincerely. He's just over there. Go along and have a chat.
I will, but first I'll chat with you again.
Oh, hello. Terrific to see you. And pray that you never...
Right, because we're not smart enough for him to say anything else
Hello
ever.
there. I was expecting you. As promised, I will share my sorceries. I'm afraid that you are unable to learn sorcery. The basic framework, you see, it cannot be taught. Oh, do not fret. Life isn't all about sorcery. You will find your own way. Don't frown with regret. Peer forward with your head high.
I'm sorry for being dumb.
Hello there.
Okay, so that's all he's really going to say to us.
Oh, hello there. You've been a stranger these days. Why? What spectacular pyromancy? Tell me about it. I have never seen anything like it.
So if we say yes, he's going to go get himself killed. But since we don't really care that much about him...
Why, yes, of course. Thank you for sharing. I'm still an able pyromancer. I shall locate her myself. I'm in your debt, once again. My teacher, who I imagine still resides in the Great Swamp, had a funny way of putting it. He said that pyromancy is the ultimate fantasy. We are born into dark and warmed by fire, but this fire we cannot touch. Those whose fascination with fire persists learn to hold it in their own hand. He rather had a way with words, the old withering frog. In this land, pyromancers earn a certain respect. The Witch of Izalith, one of the legendary lords, is the godmother of pyromancy. So the day I became undead, I was ecstatic. I felt as if I'd been chosen to attune myself to the ancient arts. Of course, it wasn't all that romantic in the end. A pyromancer's flame is...
Okay.
Goodbye then.
Bye.
You dare go, Otto?
I won't. But you will. And do you have anything new to add to anything?
That stench. Maybe it's...
Yeah, maybe it's time you don't. Just leave Framped alone, buddy. So let's do this, because I like there being an actual bonfire here. Even though apparently since you can warp here even when there isn't a bonfire, you can get away without it just fine.
Thank you. I'm Anastasia, of Astoria. Now I can continue my duty as a keeper. But I only hope that my impure tongue does not offend.
It doesn't. Okay.
Forgive me. I am impure. My tongue never intended for restoration. Please, if you have any heart, leave me be.
Okay.
I wish not to speak.
All right. So now there are several paths open to us, including one branch that can actually determine our ending that we get in the game. Like, we could talk to Frampt and be like, hey, I got the Lord Vessel. Do you want it? And he'll be like, yeah. Or we could go down below and find Frampt's nemesis, I suppose, and actually ally ourselves with him instead. Or maybe that comes after doing the Lord Vessel thing. I don't really recall. But either way, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be going to the Undead Asylum for our return visit. So join us next time when we head that way. See you then, friends.